The American Civil War, one of the defining moments in the history of the United States of America. In this video, we will explore the causes, events, and consequences of the war, as well as its impact on American society and culture. From the secession of the southern states to the battles of Gettysburg and Appomattox, we will take you on a journey through the conflict that shaped the nation. The American Civil War was a complex and multifaceted conflict that had deep roots in the social, economic, and political history of the country. One of the main causes of the war was the issue of slavery, which had been a contentious issue since the founding of the nation. The southern states relied heavily on the labor of enslaved people, while the northern states opposed the practice on moral and economic grounds. The debate over slavery was further fueled by the westward expansion of the United States and the question of whether new territories should be admitted as free or slave states. Another major cause of the war was the issue of states' rights. The southern states believed that the federal government had overstepped its constitutional authority and encroached on their sovereignty, while the northern states argued that the federal government had the power to regulate and enforce national laws. The tension between the federal government and the states had been brewing for years and came to a head in the years leading up to the war. The Civil War began on April 12, 1861, when Confederate forces under General P.G.T. Beauregard bombarded Fort Sumter in Charleston, South Carolina. The attack on the fort marked the beginning of hostilities between the Union and Confederate forces and set the stage for a long and bloody conflict. In the months that followed, both sides mobilized their armies and prepared for war. The first major battle of the war was fought at Bull Run in Virginia on July 21, 1861. The Union forces, led by General Irvin McDowell, were defeated by the Confederate forces under General P.G.T. Beauregard. The battle shocked both sides and demonstrated that the war would be long and difficult. In the years that followed, the war would see some of the bloodiest battles in American history, including Antietam, Gettysburg, and Shiloh. The fighting was brutal and often resulted in high casualties on both sides. The war also saw the introduction of new technologies such as the rifled musket and the ironclad warship that would change the nature of warfare forever. On January 1, 1863, President Abraham Lincoln issued the Emancipation Proclamation, which declared that all enslaved people in the Confederate States were to be freed. The proclamation did not immediately free all enslaved people, as it only applied to states that were in rebellion against the United States. However, it was a significant step towards ending slavery in America and helped to shift the focus of the war towards the abolition of slavery. The Emancipation Proclamation also had important international implications, as it signaled to the world that the Union was committed to ending slavery and promoting freedom for all people. The proclamation helped to turn the tide of public opinion in favor of the Union and undermine the Confederate cause. The end of the Civil War marked a momentous occasion in American history. After 4 long years of fighting, the Confederate forces under General Robert E. Lee surrendered to the Union forces under General Ulysses S. Grant on April 9, 1865. The surrender at Appomattox Courthouse in Virginia signaled the end of the war and the beginning of a new era for the United States. Despite the challenges, the end of the Civil War marked a turning point in American history. The war had fundamentally transformed the country, and the United States emerged from the conflict as a stronger and more united nation.